Hi y'all, Laurel here, Minnesota Zone 4. It is Halloween and we got our first snowfall overnight last night and into this morning. A lot of it's melted. We got about an inch or so, but it's mid-30s, 35, 36 right now, so it's melting fast. They don't bother to do anything to the roads in this kind of that light of a snowfall because it melts quickly. Not unusual for us to get a little bit of snow in October. Within the last 5 years, we've had some pretty heavy snowfalls in October, so an inch is nothing bad at all. The smokebush tree started dropping its leaves. You can see the top of its stems there. I do cut this back really hard in the spring because it grows so fast. It is a full-size smokebush shaped into tree form. Of course, I forgot to wind up the hose this weekend, so that's under the snow right now. But I'll do that. It'll melt. It's going to be like 50 on Friday. But I love, first of all, the leaves look kind of funny in the snow, how a lot of them are like sticking up on their end. But I love this rock garden, how things kind of stick up through the snow. Midwinter, that'll be mostly covered because we get pretty deep snow. So I'll head to the backyard. This is sort of a good chance to take a look at winter interest a little bit. Makes me realize where I need to add evergreens, etc. I have pretty much everything cleared out. This ivy, I started taking my houseplants into the house from the porch, so this ivy will have room to winter over on the porch, as will this. These are all hardy in my zone succulents. There's a couple sedum and a sempervivum in there, so I just stick that on the porch. I mainly just don't want, they'd be fine outdoors too, I just don't want the pot to burst. Yeah, I've got lots of things tucked away and stored for winter. This verbena is so tough. That is an annual. It won't survive even in my garage, but man, it can take a lot of cold. That creeping Jenny is hardy, so I'm just going to leave that in the pot to overwinter. Use it next year. Same thing with that vinca. This grass looks like maybe it's gotten too cold and it's died. I'm not sure. Not hardy. Look how the snow's kind of piled on the coneflowers, though. Isn't that cute? Oh, there's a little dead caterpillar on there, too. This is also hardy on my whatever zone my porch is, so I'll take that inside. I just needed to make room for it. And I've got 2 strawberries that I didn't get to give away, but I may be able to overwinter those. But this is the backyard. Looks like my mom went out to feed the cat. See her footprints. The 2 of us bought this house together in 2017. And this backyard was basically nothing. It was just grass, just all kinds of shrubs, overgrown, weeds along the fence. We cleared that out, and I've been taking over the grass with the gardens ever since. Honeysuckle. Luckily, it hasn't gotten so cold that it's completely frozen. We did get down to about 22 or 23 the other night, so that definitely killed a few things. Well, not killed them, it just, the leaves didn't have a chance to fall naturally. Sedum always looks so pretty in the snow. Snow gathered on the seed heads. I do take in my concrete pieces. Now that I've gotten the garage organized, I have space to get those indoors. Just because we get so much snow, you can't see them anyways in the winter. Oh yeah, these hostas were looking really pretty, but I think that cold was enough to just kill their leaves. Dogwood still has some, I think it might still get some color. Some of the leaves definitely got nipped by the cold, but I might get a little more color on that. Didn't kill all the leaves, since it's going to warm up a little bit this week. Still have some things to clear. Oh, there's one of the cats munching on the food. That's a male cat. He's actually less shy of people. He'll actually come up to you and kind of like want you to scratch his head a little bit. So I changed around the hydrangeas a little bit. The Bobo hydrangeas, I had these two over here were kind of back against the fence. They didn't get enough sun, and then they were robbed of a lot of moisture by the ginormous arborvitae. So I transplanted those, moved those up. So I'm glad we got this snow to kind of water those in a little bit. The soil was really moist because of all the rain we got last week. And then this is a third one that I bought this year. So I have a little trio of hydrangeas there. Kind of behind the hydrangeas and behind the bench, I planted 4 hostas. Solomon seal looks really pretty sticking up from the snow. Even this container is still hanging on a little bit after all that cold. Ferns and hosta leaves, however, do not like it below 25. They definitely got killed back by that. Viburnum looking pretty. Oh, cute. Look at that little hellebore leaf kind of poking up there. Same thing with the Virginia. Those are semi-evergreen. Lungwort, semi-evergreen. Definitely looking forward to next year when I can plant a U, kind of this area, plant a upright U behind those 2 viburnum. Get a little evergreen interest in here a little bit more, create more of a screen in the winter time. Although we're not really out in our yards in the winter time, but just something. And then it'll be a nice dark green backdrop for these bright leaves eventually once it gets big enough. Dogwood dropping, that grass kind of weighed down. It doesn't get a lot of sun, so I did that grow through frame this year, which kept it upright. Normally halfway through the summer it kind of flops over, so that worked out well. Yeah, in this bed, really the arborvitae is the only winter evergreen interest that I have. I do leave the seed heads up, the allium, the bee balm, echinacea. I don't really cut anything back. I'll probably clean up the hosta leaves because they just get mushy and icky. But some years I don't get to them and it's fine. And then some years we get so much snow that all of this is it's completely weighed down anyways. So then I end up with just the arborvitae. And last summer I had to trudge out here and so many times knock the snow off of it because it was completely split open. So I just hope we don't get that much snow this year. Just a normal amount, please. Annuals. Wow, that salvia still hasn't died back. That's pretty hardy. I did get a bunch of the perennials planted that I had lined up here. I got those in the ground on Saturday. We did get our first flakes on Saturday. I was out here and noticed that there was snow flying just a little bit, maybe about 10 minutes or 10 minutes of time. It did not accumulate anywhere. So technically our first snow was on Saturday. This is the first accumulation. This dwarf goldenrod looks pretty. I'll have to do grow through frames on those again. This year I just stuck that one in there so that it wasn't so flopped over and in the way, but it was definitely split and flop open. So yeah, those annuals back there, the canna and the coleus are just, looking fresh, real fresh. I don't know if I'll get to cutting those back or not. This is Noblesse yarrow poking through, echinacea. Those grasses are flopped over from the snow too. This is a little arborvitae, Anna's Magic Ball is what it's called. The sedum looks pretty with the snow. There's the phlox. I did dig up my dahlias this weekend as well. Those tubers did really well. I was very pleased with how big they got and how healthy they were. Last year I did not have luck with those at all. I see the azalea has its buds set for next spring, kind of sitting there under those zinnias. Some of this stuff I might cut, some of it I kind of leave for winter interest as well. I also need more evergreen interest in this bed, which is why kind of on the corner by the downspout I plan to plant a upright blue juniper, like a skinny one. Oh, my little trellis blew over. It was only there temporarily. My Vago bed, I'll get my garlic in this weekend before that soil freezes over. I don't know if I'll cut the peppers back. Normally I do, but some years there's just so much to do, and this year it seems like winter just came so early. So I tend to do most of my cleanup in the spring. There's some sage looking good, Bargarten sage, and some rosemary still. A lot of this bed went down. The willow. Oh, I see bunny tracks. We don't have deer here. I've seen one deer in the 5 years that we've owned this home, and it was injured. There are deer nearby, but they don't come. I don't ever have deer damage. Mainly squirrels, sometimes bunnies. That fern foliage looks kind of cool against the backdrop of the snow. And I love astilbe blooms in the snow. That's what's in the back against the fence there. You can see my neighbors, very nice neighbors, but they have their kind of junk storage behind their garage. So I would like to add some evergreen screening in here as well. Just sort of shield my view. Have it look real pretty. There was definitely a lot less squirrel activity this year, probably because there were so many cats around. They were going after the vole colony that lives in the neighborhood. Yeah, this will probably all be melted tomorrow. It's just going to get warmer the next couple days. My little mushroom back there with the little snow cap. All of this concrete I've got to get in the garage. I like it. I mean, it's pretty, but it's kind of pointless, like I said, because it would just get buried for most of the summer, and it would deteriorate faster. So there's no point leaving it out. Oh, there's the other squash. That was the baby one that I left out for the squirrels. That one wasn't even close. It would not have ripened had I brought it in. Lots of leaves came down over here. Very pretty. It was really pretty this morning, especially it was that kind of wet snow that just sticks to all the trees. Very picturesque. Oh, what kind of bird is that? I don't know if you guys can see that. Is that a bald eagle? I think that's no, it has a white belly. Well, whatever it is, it's cool. Yeah. So that's the first snow here in the Twin Cities. I'm surprised I was going to bring that inside, but I have zero space, so once I have I don't even have all my houseplants in. This is what happens every year, though. I'm not surprised. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and please subscribe.